start our lesson on prepositions. The ACT will test you in two ways on prepositions. One, can you recognize a preposition and use the correct preposition? And two, can you use a prepositional phrase and the appropriate comma that goes with the phrase? But first, what is a preposition? Definition. A preposition is a transition word that links a noun with another noun. So in other words, if you have a preposition, you have a noun in your immediate future. If you can recognize a person, place, or thing, you know that that is probably introduced by a preposition. Also note, prepositions are usually single syllable. At, on, by, since, to, of, but they can also be double syllable. Before, beyond, after. Now here's how prepositions are categorized. Prepositions are categorized into four groups. Prepositions that show time, location, spatial relationships, and movement. And I can prove that these are all introducing nouns because once you use the preposition, you are going to automatically want to follow it up with a noun. Example, at the movies. Movies is a noun. On the desk. Desk is an object, noun. By the river. Before sunrise. From the library. You're always going to associate these transition words with nouns. Look at location. Above the desk. That's location. Where is it? Below the shelf. Over the rainbow. In the library. Next, prepositions also show relationships. The relationships are between usually people, among my friends, between my brother and sister, besides my brother. Prepositions also show movement, to the door, toward the main office, from the library, into the police station. Here's the trick. The trick is if you see these words introduce nouns, you know you have a prepositional phrase. Here's an example. My aunt is looking at the television. Aunt is the main noun. What's she looking at? The television. At the television. Now this might seem simple, but you need to know the context. Am I at the store or from the store or in the store or by the store? And that's what the ACT tests. Therefore, you have to have reading comprehension. They give you a paragraph. In that paragraph, they give you a preposition. Is it right, wrong? And they give you choices. That will be question one from your mini quiz today. Now, let's look at what happens when you use prepositions at the beginning of a sentence. Then you have a whole different ballgame. If you were to say, where's that word? Here. If you were to say, comma rule number 5, use a comma after an introductory prepositional phrase. Now you know that you have an introductory preposition at. Now you have a phrase, at the edge of the woods. The reason that that's a prepositional phrase is it introduces the noun woods. So therefore, you need to put a comma, and then you need to complete your sentence with an independent clause so you can put a period, which is a little bit more complicated, something that I'll review later. But here's the missing link. Because I'm unstuck in time, I'm going to say just like making a cake, right? Just like making a cake, you need flour, eggs, sugar, and if you're lucky, you get some frosting. So making a sentence in this context is like making a cake. We've got some flour, we've got some eggs, we're missing the sugar, we're missing whatever. And this is how you build a sentence. The very first thing you do is you have to know what makes a sentence. What makes a sentence are the three ingredients: noun, verb, complete thought. If I'm in the world of phrases, I only have one of three ingredients. At the edge of the woods. The only ingredient I have is the noun. There's no verb here. There's no complete thought. Therefore, I have to put a comma, and then I complete my sentence. At the edge of the woods, comma, I found a river and fished all afternoon. Now I've added nouns, verbs, complete thoughts after the comma, and I have a complete sentence. It starts with a phrase, it ends with an independent clause. Therefore, I go comma, new information, period. That shouldn't be that hard. The second example, where I have 2 out of 3 ingredients, is a dependent clause. A dependent clause has a noun and a verb. Example, marching in formation. Marching is a participle verb ending in ing. Verb, the noun, the formation is a noun. Marching in formation. So I have 2 of 3, I'm missing the complete thought. Dependent clauses are always missing the complete thought. Marching in formation, comma, I tripped and fell, and hurt my ankle. Because I'm not very good at marching. Once you have all 3 ingredients, you have a sentence. Noun, verb, complete thought. Jane and Holden visited Central Park to feed the ducks. Jane and Holden, compound noun, visited verb, Central Park to feed the ducks. Complete thought, ending, see the word to? Ending with a prepositional phrase. To feed the ducks, 2 ducks. Preposition, noun. Where there's a preposition, you're always going to end with a noun. They're all part of the noun family. And that being said, study self-directed, take your 5 to 10 minutes, and then take your question 1 through 4 on Scantron out of the plastic box. When you're done, that's a 4-minute test, and then we'll move on to chapter 4 of Slaughterhouse 5. It shouldn't be the hardest lesson we've had all year, but it needs to be mastered, and it needs to be mastered soon. All right? So work towards proficiency and get to work right now, no talking.
Yeah, no